So, welcome back. This is the next part of our interviews with people regarding the Queen's Park Theatre. Today we have with us Caroline Drogue.
Yes.
Now, I work with Caroline in the office as well as seeing her at the many shows as well. So we're quite familiar with each other now, aren't we, Caroline?
Yes, we are.
Even though I've only been here 6 months, I believe you've been here since, what, forever?
Well, I've been working at the city since March 1988, so that's 34 years ago. I arrived in Geraldton in '86, and I very quickly became a friend of the Queen's Park Theatre. And actually, in '87, before I went to the Mikethra gold mines, there was an advertisement by the city to get a theatre manager, and I did apply. I didn't get the interview. I was a bit too young, but I was really enthusiastic already, and I thought it would be nice to be a theatre manager. I loved the place. And anyway, it didn't matter. Later on, obviously, it's difficult for me to disassociate myself from the QPT as a patron. As a worker with the city, as a friend of QPT, I'm sort of really enmeshed in the building.
So, the Friends of the Theatre, now the Friends of the Theatre are a separate organisation who've been big supporters of the theatre from
Absolutely,
the word go. And how long have you been a member of the Friends?
Oh, since '87, I think.
87?
Yes,
okay.
From a long time. I thought it would be a good idea to sort of be a friend of the Queen's Park Theatre. And also, maybe it was a commercial transaction at the time, because the Queen's Park Theatre was the main cinema in town, and the Friends had a discount of $2 of the tickets.
$2?
And I love the cinema. So it was handy to be a friend, to get a bit of a discount, and it was just magical to be here for the films. And we would, obviously we sit here, and the big screen, and it was on every day because we were the main theatre, and that lasted until '99 when Orana Cinema opened. And we had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful projectionist. His name was Wayne Count, and he just knew all the films. He knew the best films coming on, gossip and critics from the Oscar, from obscure films, from foreign films. So he was invaluable for the organization, and he had also a relationship with the distributors in Australia for the films, because we need to have distribution rights, screening rights. And that's also through his good contacts that we got a popcorn machine. So I remember when the cinema got a popcorn machine, and people were really enthused and happy to be here. That was lovely.
What was the first movie that you remember seeing?
I'm not sure if it's the first, but I remember seeing Strictly Ballroom, the Titanic, and I remember when The Lion King, when we brought my young kid, my young child with us. It was just awesome, plus others, but also, in the 90s, I didn't go to the cinema as much because of young children, so it was the occasional coming to the cinema. But for the Titanic, we had at the time Barry Plews as a theatre manager, and he was an awesome big picture thinker. And he had the foyer decorated, and for the Titanic and for Strictly Ballroom, he made special screening where people arrived in their big gown for a film. It was just awesome, and it sort of made it all special. But it was also nice to have this ongoing daily attendance of people coming for a film. So it makes people more familiar with the venue, so that when you have a show afterwards, they say, oh yeah, it's at the theatre, but we know how it looks and everything. Mm-hmm. But for whichever reason, for whenever you come here, there is this really awesome feeling of being welcomed, this plush carpet, the regal colors of the red, the gold, the beautiful, I know it's a concrete building, but it's in the color of the limestone that are local, and it's warm. So it makes you feel secure, and please come in, you'll be all right. So it's always a great pleasure. And also when you arrive at the QPT on the forecourt, just the forecourt, to see the fountain, to go up to the box office, to do all these things, and to see this big building and knowing it's ours as a community is just always awesome.
I think that that's something that's really important, isn't it? That it's actually there for the community.
It is here for the community, yes.
Yeah, so like we do get a lot of shows who come through and the big shows, but it's also nice when you get the dancing schools coming through as well.
Oh, the dancing school, yeah, it's
and
awesome.
I'm sure your daughters would have been
My daughters danced, so it was a big involvement at the time.
Yep.
But what they loved the most is when they were very soon actually, because I didn't know anything about makeup. So I used to park them next to a mom who knew, with a bunch of something, and I said, can you make them pretty? and they loved it because I could just leave them there and just go. And that was just...
I don't think you should say that.
It was the 90s.
Yes, yeah.
Or the noughties.
Yeah.
So it's fine. And you know, I mean, you develop a sense with the things. But
And haven't you been on stage yourself?
I have.
Here?
I have here, yes, because the job I didn't get in '87 was taken by Guy Hooper, who was a fantastic sort of an entrepreneur type of a thinker, and he had a wife. I can't remember her name. Shame on me. But she was a musical teacher, and he decided to put on a show. So he called up the community, and we did the Pirates of Penzance, and we had help from the Theatre 8, Community of Amateur Theatre Thespian, and the Choral Society for Singers. And we just embarked on this 6-month rehearsal or whatever, and in May 1989 we presented on stage. We had made costumes and we sung, and the piano we rehearsed, we just get in tune and everything, and we had the most fun. It was just amazing to have fun like that. It was just really good. And a couple of other times I also was on stage, to my shame. While my girls were dancing, there was an adult class and a tentative an adult class that carried on. It's still valid and everything. But I was in the first classes, and we did Sadie, the cleaning lady, I think.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to tap, so I had to learn for that year. But it was just fun to be there as well. So that was another experience. And then later on, much more recently, in 2014-15. A director at the city decided that there were a lot of staff with musical experience and talent, and he decided we should do a community concert for a charity. So we held 2 charity concerts where all the staff and a couple of helpers from town, like Mia Royce and other musos around town, were helping us or participating, giving us a number more professional than ours. And so in 2014, I was in a chorus, and we sang some songs. And in 2015, they pushed me until I sang a song. And it was nice in the end. It's very validating, and you get the stage fright, but in the end, you just give of yourself, and it's very rewarding. So it was nice. It was very nice.
So in your job, you will see a lot of things behind the scenes that a lot of other people won't see, because you're dealing with a lot of the behind the scenes background of the shows before they arrive. I know you're in the finance side, but you're still seeing a lot of these things as well. So you are kind of like in advance of everyone else of knowing what's coming.
Yes, that's why we because of the participate in the programming, which is very exciting.
So
it's very
what's
good.
your most favourite show that you've seen coming through or been most excited about?
It's a little bit difficult because there is excitement and awe. When Circus Oz, for example, came the first time on this stage, I got tickets for me and my girls, and it was just awesome. And it was just so mind-boggling what they could do, and we were so close. And you have this feeling of being so far away where the usual action takes place over East. But they were here, giving us all this wonder and magical experience. So that was just awesome. And so they came a couple of times to different shows. That was lovely. And then we had also Bangara Dance Theatre. They came here, I think, for 4 or 5 shows. But each time, it just virtually brings you to tears. It was so touching and raw, and all these feelings expressed in dance that's just, it's just magical. Talking of magic, Cosentino, oh my God. A full house there, 600 people holding their breath when, oh, it's indescribable. But other times we had, for example, Justice Crew coming in. And the audience is totally different. Everyone's under 20, and they dance, and they jump, and they scream, and there is like an electric energy here, and it is just awesome. Also big things, like we had the Cossack, the Siberian Cossack. And and it's just, they bring lots of dancers. There's lots of costume effects and backgrounds and things like that. And for those, actually, I had tickets upstairs, but it was really good. With my girls, I said, "Oh, Mom, we can see everything," because we could see the formation of the dancers and everything. And then there is the big music and everything. The Oiseau, the Australian Chamber Orchestra, and you're there. You're virtually meters from the players, and they just produce these sounds. It's just amazing.
Well, I'm glad that we could actually get it down to like 1.
I don't know.
But what you've actually demonstrated there, that I think is something that's really important, and live theatre gives you a connection between the audience and the performers on stage.
Yes.
And you can't get that anywhere else other than live theatre.
I know, that's right. And also kids shows. Of course, I brought my children to some. I can't remember anything of my children's childhood, but I mean, there was Peter Koom, and he came with his, he had a treehouse type of a CD at the time, which of course I bought, and I've heard 2 million times at home. But it was funny because it was, they were sort of what's black, white, red all over the newspaper, mama, newspaper. And it was just so funny. And my kids loved it. And it's just really nice to bring these stories from the books right there, Possum Magic, that type of things. And then my girls obviously grew up, but so after they grew up, there was this big dinosaur show.
Earth's prehistoric dinosaur.
Prehistoric dinosaur, that's right. And that was also awesome. I just, because they had some of the puppets on props that they could carry over the audience and just sweep over, and the kids go, and it's just, so this electricity just starts very young for people and carries through, and it's a new experience each time. And the show may be different, but it's there if you are in a moment, if you just stay there, accept the wonder, you can be carried everywhere. That's it's just magical. It's just really good. I was trying to think, another thought came to me and I can't recall it. But it's, anyway, the magic of it. Cosentino was, oh God, he was adored.
With the Friends of the Theatre, you do a lot of work there that is very nice community work as well. So you all get together for these pizza, wine and film nights.
That's right.
They seem hugely popular.
They are very popular, and we've been very lucky with those. They started in June 2010. We wanted to do some sort of a membership drive. And one of our committee members at the time sort of said, "Oh, we can just do pizza and film. People will come." So we thought, oh yeah, why not? And we just imagined that at the time, because 2010 was 10 years after Orana Cinema had taken mainstream cinema, the QPT itself had carried on with the mini festivals. So we had children, a series of film like over 3-4 days during the January holidays with children's film, or we had some other films that came like 2 or 3, and sometimes there was a screening at 5 o'clock and a screening at 7:30 or something like that. So in between the friends, we cooked the soup that we brought there, and people could help themselves with a ladle of soup, and we thought we could remember these experiences at this mini festival, and we thought, yeah, well, if we had pizza and a film, and then if we offered soup in between 2 films as a winter event, it would work. And so it did, and we were lucky because within the second time, our second event of that sort in 2010, the Millennium films were coming out. So it was the girl with the dragon tattoo from Sweden, and somehow we got hold of that film and were allowed to screen. And when we put the title out, the interest was immense because the book had just been out, like the series of books, and lots of people, there is lots of readers in town, so lots of people had read the books and were quite curious to see and come and see the film. So for the session after that one, when we got the girl we asked for the girl who kicked who played with fire, and we could get that. And the third part was the girl who kicked the hornet's nest, and it was not coming with permission to be screened in Australia until March 2011. And we wanted to have it soon because people were inquiring, when is the third one, when is the third one? And we were able to screen it at the end of the first week of its release in Australia. And we had 342 people in March. So we had some cold platters and well, we couldn't have soup because it was not hot. But we managed to feed 340 people, and before the film, after the film, and it was awesome because everyone was super happy. They're good films, people clap at the end, it's a different experience, and we've always been able to sort of select non-mainstream films of interest. Some of them are foreign, some of them are just quirky or funny, or and we try to keep them recent-ish films.
And it's a nice way to get the community together to just come in and enjoy it.
That's right. So we managed a crowd of about, I don't know, between 110 and 130 is a sort of the run of the meal, but sometimes we go over 200. And the soups are appreciated, they're all special. People say, oh, do you have the soup like that, the soup like that? And I make biscuits, they come for the biscuits. So anyway, we've got excellent partners in town because we get the pizzas and with generous discounts from Pizza Hut. And everything works because, I suppose, we make it work, I suppose. Yeah, that's right. But it's popular, and people are looking forward to that in the winter time. So that's great, and it's and the friends also. Well, we were tapped on the shoulder quite a few years back by the seniors community center, and they said, "Oh, would you put a film for the seniors seniors week?" And we thought, oh yeah, why not? That's just a single film. And so we've been selecting seniors-themed films for quite a few years now, probably 8 or 9 years. And they've always been very appreciated, a little bit of fun, and a bit of food. So the food always brings the people, and so that's nice. And we do a film in what we call our summer film, but it's really a sweetener for people to come to our AGM, and that's so that we get a quorum and we can carry on as an association. So it's a bit of give and take, but it's an opportunity for us to give to the community, participate, and other things we do with the QPT are sometimes special suppers for for different sort of shows, like for example, in 2016 when we had the big renovations here, in July we had a reopening show, so we participated in that supper. When the coast, the production that the city produced in 2019 was there, we also participated for that supper. In one of those years we had also a Baroque back candlelight that was held at the Holy Cross Cathedral. So we prepared a supper. People didn't know, they bought a ticket and then the supper was there when there was an entr'acte and the intermission, and everyone was very surprised, and it was also it's a welcoming offering, and people, it makes them for a happy experience, and so that's good.
And this year, of course, is the 40th anniversary.
That's right.
So the Friends no doubt will be involved in something special for us later in the year.
Well, we hope. We have been holding a end of year party for quite some time, but in 2012 we did mark the silver anniversary of the QPT. Yep. So we had this sort of a special dinner, and we tried to, I think we held it early in the year, in March. And in 2007, 25, and 2012 was the 30th, and then the Pearl anniversary in 2012. So we had a big dinner as well, where we were entertained by local musicians, great food. Some of it we prepare, but some of it we cater. We got caterers in, and it was a sort of a grand occasion. People dress up in silver or glorious clothes, and it just makes it for a bit special to mark the anniversary. And of course, the 40th anniversary of the Queen's Park Theatre is the Ruby anniversary. So I think there might be a little bit of a Ruby theme for our end of year party, and whatever the QPT itself is involved in, the Friends will be quite happy to sort of participate or contribute in one way or another. That would be awesome. That's great. Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you back here for the 50th.
Definitely. Maybe I'll still be working. You never know. No. But yes, the 50th would be a grand thing. It would be nice. Very, very nice. I just love the QPT.
That's great.
I just very much love it. And it's just awesome to be here. It's just such a privilege, such a joy.
More than a job.
Oh, definitely more than a job. It's like part of my life.
That's great. Thank you very much, Caroline.
You're welcome, Andrew. Thank you very much.